depending on which time you are going to observe this lecture. Welcome to the third lecture. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the properties of amines. So, heading of today's lecture is today we are going to discuss the properties of the amines. Properties means that we will going to discuss first, we will discuss the physical property, then we will discuss the chemical property, basically the chemical reaction that has been undergo by the amines. So first, that is, we are going to understand the physical property. Physical property. First, we will understand the physical state of this compound at the room temperature. For aliphatic amines, for which the amine is having 1 to 2 carbon atoms, so you can write 1 to 2 carbon atoms. It exists as a gas. This is in the gaseous state at room temperature and it having the fishy smell, fishy odor. When it is having 3 to 4 carbon atoms, we are talking about the aliphatic amines, it exists as a liquid. Third, above 5 carbon atom, it exists as a solid. So we can understand the aliphatic amine exists at different state of the matter. That depends on the number of carbon atom present in that amine. If it is 1, 2, it will have a gas and having a fishy smell. It is having, if it is a 3, 4, then it will have the liquid physical appearance and it is having the solid when its carbon atom is having the more than 5 carbon atom. In case of aromatic, it exists in liquid and the solid. It do not exist in the gaseous state. So this is the physical state. Second thing that is we will discuss, that is the solubility. Solubility is lower aliphatic amine, that is 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, soluble in water because they form the hydrogen bonds with the water. But as the molecular mass is increasing, its solubility goes on decreasing, and the higher aliphatic amine it is found, it is insoluble in water. In case of aromatic amine, you will find that is not soluble in water, but they can be soluble in organic solvent like alcohol, ether or chlorine. So this is the solubility aspect. Number 3 that we are going to discuss, that is the boiling point. Boiling point of the amine is found to be less than your alcohol or carboxylic acid. Why? Because the intermolecular hydrogen bond between the amine molecules is very less. not so strong as we observe in case of carboxylic acid or in the alcohol. And that is why the intermolecular association is less and it requires less energy to boil it. So that is why the boiling point of the amine is less than carboxylic acid or alcohol. But if we arrange the boiling point of these isomeric amines, that is 1 degree amine, 2 degree amine and 3 degree amine, what we find that there is a change, there is a difference in the level of hydrogen bonding. In case of primary amine, you can see there is a 2 hydrogen bond. There are 2 hydrogen bonds and the extent of hydrogen bonding is greater in 1 degree amine as compared to the 2 degree and 3 degree amine. So as a consequence, there is a molecule are very much associated, closely associated we can say, in case of 1 degree amine as compared to the 2 degree or 3 degree amine. So if we arrange the boiling point of 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, it will be looks like this. 1 degree is having the highest boiling point, followed by 2 degree amine, and this is followed by 3 degree amine. So these are all the physical properties. Now we are going to discuss second point, that is the chemical properties. Chemical properties means we will discuss the chemical reactions, that is normally shown by these amines. Due to the difference in the electronegativity between the hydrogen and nitrogen, and there is one lone pair electron present in the nitrogen, amine shows lots of reactivity. And this is found that it is act as a nucleophile, because in the nitrogen atom there is a one lone pair electron. And another thing that we will understand gradually, that there is a difference of undergoing the chemical reaction of the 1 degree amine, 2 degree amine or 3 degree amine. So first chemical reaction that is undergo by the chemical reaction, that is the amine. So that is number 1, that is basic property. Why amine has the basic property? That let us understand, because in the nitrogen atom there is a lone pair of electron, and this can be easily shared to any proton or any acid. So it will react with the acid as a base. So reaction of the basic property is this. For this is primary amine. Primary amine with the halogen acid, it will going to produce the salt. This is called the amine salt. And when this amine salt is reacted with the NaOH, it will going to revert back this primary amine. Another reaction that we will see, that is the in case of aromatic amine, it also react with the halogen acid. You have taken the HCl and it is going to form a salt, and it is called the aniline chloride. This is called aniline chloride. Aniline chloride. Okay, so amine shows the basic property. And another point that is a very important point, sometime you may face question in your exams, that is about the basicity of the amines. There are 3 types of amines. we call three types of bases, that is ammonia, and from which the amine is derived, then aliphatic amine and aromatic amine, and among them which have the highest basic property, that is observed the aliphatic amine has the highest basic property as compared to the ammonia. And if we compare ammonia and aromatic amines, that is, we will find the aromatic amine have the less basic property, and there is a specific reason behind this, and this we will discuss later on in the next lecture. So first we are just discussing the chemical properties. First chemical property that we will discuss, that is the basic property. Second, we are going to discuss the number 2, that is the acylation. What is acylation? Let us first understand. Acylation is nothing but the incorporation of RCO group. RCO group. This is called acylation. And when we specify this term acylation, and when we say that we want to put this group is acetyl group. Acetyl group. And the process of this group, incorporation of this cis-3 group or acetyl group into the amine is called acetylation. And this is a very important process we will understand later on. It has a lot of application. So what is acetylation? Let us understand with a reaction. So here for this, when we are going to do this acetylation, at that time we have to react amine, and one thing we have to understand, only primary and secondary amine is going to undergo this acetylation reaction or acylation reaction, because the tertiary amine do not have any hydrogen, so it is not going to take part in this reaction. So this is a primary amine, and we are taking the methyl amine. This is methyl amine, and it is being reacted with the acetyl chloride. We are taking this acetyl chloride. This is acetyl chloride, and this has been carried out in presence of a strong base as compared to the amine. So for this we have to take in pyridine. Pyridine we have taken, and here you can see that amine acts as a nucleophile, and this electron, and this is a carbon atom which has a very high electrophilicity, so it will take up this electron and it is going to make a intermediate like this, this electron is shifted here, so it will be negatively charged, and this, and when this lone pair electron is being putting as a bonded, which is a lone pair here, so there is a positive charge created here with the nitrogen. So here what is going to happen, this is a very unstable pieces. Why? There is a lot of plus minus, lot of things is there. So species don't want this, all these things. So it want to be relieved of this state. There is a lot of energy in this species, we can see. So it do not want to stay with this. So it will naturally go to a lower energy state. That is why it will take up this electron. This nitrogen is positively charged, so it will take this bond pair electron between the nitrogen and hydrogen, and here this electron will be shifted and this will be a living group. Chlorine is a good living group, and this is going to produce a new compound. This is called the amide. So here you can see there is a formation again. This is called N-methyl. This is called N-methyl acetamide. N-methyl acetamide. Or you can say N-methyl ethanamide. That is also can called. So this product is being formed from acetylation process where we use the 1 degree amine. In this way, we can also use, in place of acetyl chloride, we can use the acetic anhydride also. Now, next reaction we are going to discuss, that is Schiff's base. Schiff's base is a compound where we can find there is a carbon-nitrogen double bond, and it is being formed from the condensation reaction in presence of small amount of sulfuric acid, and reaction is taken up with the aldehyde and ketone and with the primary amine. So let us see the reaction. What is the reaction? We have taken this ethyl amine, and we have taken the acetaldehyde. This is acetaldehyde. And what is going to happen here? Now here there will be the elimination of H2O. That is why we have taken a small drop of H2SO4 that will taken up all this H2O. So with this there is a reaction. You can see this is CH2 N double bond CH3. This is ethylidene, ethylamine. This is Schiff's base. This is a very, very important compound in chemistry, Schiff's base. So this is the Schiff's base reaction. That the reaction is carried out with the acetaldehyde and your primary 1 degree amine. This is you are discussing. We have understand the basic property. We have understand the acetylation process. Now this is the third one. That is the Schiff's base. Fourth reaction is carbyl amine reaction. Carbyl amine, or this is called isocyanide. Isocyanide reaction. This reaction is very special reaction in the sense that you can able to distinguish between 1 degree amine, 2 degree amine or 3 degree amine. How? Now this reaction is only taken up by the 1 degree amine. Both aliphatic and aromatic will going to undergo this reaction. This reaction is taken up. The reagent is you have to take the ethanolic KOH with the primary amine and chloroform. It is going to produce the isocyanides, that is alkyl isocyanides or phenyl carbyl amines, and this has a very, very unpleasant smell. So reaction of this is this NH2 plus we have to take an ethanolic KOH plus we have to take in chloroform, and this is going to produce the very important product isocyanate. Alkyl isocyanates or alkyl carbylamine, whatever you tell, and at this you will HCl and this H2O. So if we balance this 3, 3 and 3, now you see this is balanced. So this is the carboylamine test, and this reaction is carried out only by the 1 degree amine, not 2 degree amine or 3 degree amine. Next reaction, 5 reaction, fifth number reaction that we are going to discuss, the reaction with HNO2, nitrous acid. In this reaction also we found difference. 1 degree, 2 degree and 3 degree amines produce different product, and they react. That means they react differently. We will discuss the reaction with the 1 degree amine. That is, we have taken this 1 degree amine with HNO2, and it is in presence of NaNO2, sodium nitrite and HCl. It is going to produce the alkyl diazonium salt, and this alkyl diazonium salt, in spite of taking the very low temperature, it is not a stable one. So it will ultimately produce the alcohol, and it will liberate the nitrogen gas and HCl. And this is basically quantitative test of the amino acid and proteins. How much, if from this volume of this nitrogen you can able to specify, you can able to quantify how much is there, amino acid is there in the proteins or in the cell process. So this is a test for the amino acid and protein. Second thing, that is aromatic amine. That is a very important reaction with HNO2 nitrous acid, and in this reaction the temperature is very crucial, in the sense that if you take high temperature, it is going to be dissociated into the other compounds, alcohols, phenols and other things. So in this case, C6H5 into Cl. This is benzene diazonium chloride, and you will find NaCl or H2O. So this is benzene diazonium chloride, and it is a very important compound. We will specially understand this compound in the coming videos. So this is the reaction with the HNO2. Now we will be going to discuss another several reactions. That is, we will discuss the Hinsberg reactions and other reactions that it can capable of producing the complex compound, and other reactions also we will discuss in the next video. Okay, so that is all for today's lecture. In this lecture we have discussed about different chemical reaction undergo by the amines. I think most of the point is being clear to you. If you have any points you could not able to understand, that you can comment in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching, and this is basically a service to the students of class 12 who cannot afford the costly tuitions, because nowadays the tuitions fees are getting very much costlier. I think that this session will help you to understand the many things, and for that you have to do one very important thing, that you have to types, the science we will cut this year, and we will find a lot of topics regarding this class 11 and class 12, and you can go through this and have your concept clear. Thank you very much for watching, and meet in the next lecture. Thank you.